Foolish Tootles was standing like a conqueror over Wendy's body when the other boys sprang, armed, from their trees.
You're too late. I have shot the Wendy. Peter will be so pleased with me.
Overhead, Tinkerbell shouted, "Silly ass!" and darted into hiding.
The others did not hear her. They had crowded round Wendy, and as they looked, a terrible silence fell upon the wood.
If Wendy's heart had been beating, they all would have heard it.
This is no bird. I think it must be a lady.
A lady?
We have killed her.
They all whipped off their caps.
Now I see Peter was bringing her to us.
A lady to take care of us at last, and you have killed her.
Tootle's face was very white, but there's a dignity about him now that he'd never seen before.
I did it. When ladies used to come to me in dreams, I said, pretty mother, pretty mother. But when at last she really came, I shot her.
He moved slowly away.
Don't go.
I must. I'm so afraid of Peter.
It was at this tragic moment that they heard a sound which made the heart of every one of them rise to his mouth. They heard Peter crow.
Cock-a-doodle-doo!
Peter.
Hide her.
Again came that ringing crow, and Peter dropped in front of them.
Greetings, boys. I'm back. Why do you not cheer?
They opened their mouths, but the cheers would not come.
He overlooked it in his haste to tell the glorious tidings.
Great news, boys. I have brought at last a mother for you all. Well, have you not seen her? She flew this way.
Oh, me. Oh, mournful day.
Tootles rose.
Peter, I will show her to you.
So they all stood back and let him see. And after he had looked for a little time, he did not know what to do next.
She is dead.
But there was an arrow.
He took it from her heart and faced his band.
Whose arrow?
Mine, Peter.
Oh, dastard hand!
Peter raised the arrow to use it as a dagger.
Tootles did not flinch.
He bared his breast.
Strike, Peter. Strike true.
Twice did Peter raise the arrow, and twice did his hand fall.
I cannot strike. There is something that stays my hand.
All looked at him in wonder,
Save Nibs.
who fortunately looked at Wendy.
It is she, the Wendy lady. See her arm.
Wonderful to relate, Wendy had raised her arm.
Nibs bent over her and listened reverently.
I think she said, poor Tootles.
She lives.
The Wendy lady lives.
Then Peter knelt beside her and found his button.
You remember, she had put it on a chain that she wore round her neck.
See, the arrow struck against this. It is the kiss I gave her. It has saved her life.
I remember kisses. Let me see it. Aye, that's a kiss.
Listen to Tink. She is crying because Wendy lives.
Then they had to tell Peter of Tink's crime.
And almost never had they seen him look so stern.
Listen, Tinkerbell. I am your friend no more. Be gone from me forever.
She flew onto his shoulder and pleaded, but he brushed her off.
Not until Wendy again raised her arm did he relent sufficiently to say,
Well, not forever. but for a whole week.
But what to do with Wendy in her present delicate state of health?
Let us carry her down into the house.
Aye, that is what one does with ladies.
No, no, you must not touch her. It would not be sufficiently respectful.
That is what I was thinking.
But if she lies there, she will die.
Aye, she will die, but there is no way out.
Yes, there is. Let us build a little house around her.
They were all delighted.
Quick, bring me each of you the best of what we have. Gut our house, be sharp.
They scurried this way and that, and while they were at it,
Who should appear but John and Michael?
to be very sure they were very relieved to find Peter.
Hello, Peter.
Oh, is Wendy asleep?
Yes.
Well, John, let's wake her up and get her to make supper for us.
As he said it, some of the boys rushed on carrying branches for the building of the house.
Well, look at them.
Curly, see that these boys help in the building of the house.
Aye, aye, sir.
Build a house?
For the Wendy.
Wendy? Why, she's only a girl.
That is why we are her servants.
You? Wendy's servants?
Yes, and you also. Away with them.
The astounded brothers were dragged away to hack and hew and carry.
If we knew the kind of house she likes best.
Peter, she's moving in her sleep.
Her mouth opens.
Oh, lovely.
Perhaps she's going to sing in her sleep. Wendy, sing the kind of house you would like to have.
Immediately, without opening her eyes, Wendy began to sing.
I wish I had a pretty house, the littlest ever seen, with funny little red walls and roof of mossy green.
They gurgled with joy at this.
For, by the greatest good luck, the branches they had brought were sticky with red sap, and all the ground was carpeted with moss.
The house was quite beautiful, and no doubt Wendy was very cosy within.
Though, of course, they could no longer see her.
It was finished.
Nothing remained to do but to knock.
All look your best. First impressions are awfully important.
He knocked politely, and now the wood was as still as the children, not a sound to be heard.
Except from Tinkerbell, who was watching from a branch and openly sneering.
What the boys were wondering was, would anyone answer the knock?
If a lady, what would she be like?
The door opened, and a lady came out.
It was Wendy.
They all whipped off their hats,
She looked properly surprised.
and this was just how they hoped she would look.
Where am I?
Wendy, lady, for you built this house.
Oh, say you are pleased.
Lovely house, darling house.
And we are your children.
Oh, Wendy, lady, be our mother.
Ought I? Oh, of course, it's frightfully fascinating. But you see, I am only a little girl. I have no real experience.
Oh, that doesn't matter. What we need is just a nice motherly person.
Oh dear. You see, I feel that is exactly what I am.
Oh, it is. We all saw it at once.
Very well, I will do my best. Come inside at once, you naughty children. I am sure your feet are damp. And before I put you to bed, I have just enough time to finish the story of Cinderella.
And that was the first of many joyous evenings they had with Wendy.
The little house looked so cosy and safe in the darkness, with a bright light showing through its blinds, and the chimney smoking beautifully, and Peter standing on guard.